come on up to the speaker stand at this time. At this time, we're going to turn the time over to another elder.
Okay, my name is Lohoma, and I am an elder. Most of these things, these three little stories I'm going to tell you happened when I was a kid. And maybe I was a mean kid, I don't know. Maybe that's why these things happened to me, I don't know. But a couple of them happened in this area, around the Arvika area. And then one happened in our home when we lived in the Oklahoma City area. But each one happened when I was like 7, 8, and 9 years old. The first one was after my grandpa died. He was a big-time stomp dancer. He was a leader. He lived out there around Arvika, between just south of the Sonora Cemetery and before you get to the Arvika stomp range, way out in the country. So after Grandpa died, for whatever reason, the three girls, myself and my two sisters, were spending the night, spending some time with my grandmother. And we liked being out in the country, but not so much when it got dark, because she had no electricity, and you know, it got really dark out there, and you hear all kinds of sounds. The two girls, my younger and older sister, they slept on the floor on pallets. And it was in the summertime, August 1960. I slept with Grandma on the bed. And Grandma had a tendency to get up in the middle of the night and smoke cigarettes. And I had heard a noise outside, and then I thought, oh, that's coyotes. Kind of went back to sleep. And then when I heard another noise, I reached over to see if my grandma was still in bed, because I was getting kind of scared. And my sisters were just sleeping. They were just snoring away. But Grandma wasn't there. But then I realized she got to go smoke a cigarette. And then she came back to bed, and I heard another noise. I heard that front door, that screen door open, and I could hear these feet shuffling from the front room to the kitchen. And then turned around, went back out. And I was so scared, I just covered my head and slept for as long as I could till the next day. And Grandma never said a word, but she did speak English, but she didn't say anything to me about anything. She just acted like it was a normal day. So when my dad showed back up that day, I told him, I said, Daddy, I heard something last night. I said, it was really scary, and the other girls didn't hear it, and Grandma didn't seem to be bothered. I said, I heard the screen door open, I heard these shuffling feet, go to the kitchen, and then turn around and go back out. I said, what was that? I said, I was scared, I covered my head, I didn't want to look. And he says, there's your grandpa. I said, that's not, can't be my grandpa, he's gone. And he says, no, Homa, they call me Homa. He says, Homa, that's just one of our things. He says, that's your grandpa's spirit. And he said, Grandma most likely had some food set out on the table for him in the dining room. And he just came to eat his dinner. So that's fun. That was pretty scary. I was just 7 years old at the time. Then the next one, I was like, I think I was like 9 years old, and we were at the house, our house, in the Oklahoma City area. And I was sitting there watching TV late at night. It was even darker than this is out here. I was with my 4 brothers, and I said, we were just watching TV. That's the only light that we had coming into the room. And I don't even remember what we were watching. But Dad had bought this old dining room set. It had a buffet, it had a china cabinet, it had a long table with about 8 chairs. And then our dining area was just an old wood floor, hardwood floor. So we're sitting there enjoying the show, and all of a sudden we hear the dining room buffet doors start to open, and the doors start to open and slam. And it's just all this noise, like the chairs moving and the time cabinet opening, and we all just look at each other. The boys look at me, and I look at them. And I'm not the youngest, but I was one of the smallest. And so I got brave, and I jumped up and flipped on the light really quick. And we looked in the dining room, and nothing was out of place. Nothing. The doors were all closed. The drawers were all closed. No chairs were out of place. And we got really scared, and of course we turned out the lights and went to bed. We told Dad about it the next day, and he believed us, but it happened again. And when it happened again the second time, we just heard the chairs. We didn't hear all the drawers and doors opening. So we told him about it the second time, and he just got rid of the furniture. So I believe that furniture can be haunted. But then my next story is, we used to go to church at Silver Springs. Anybody know where Silver Springs is? It's over there. It's before they even built I-40. So that's how old you know I am. We used to drive right out there in the old dirt roads. But the old folks at New Year's, they would have all-night singing. And as kids, we'd try to stay up as long as we could. But then when we'd get sleepy, we'd have to go to one of the old camp houses. So this one particular New Year's Eve, there's about 6 of us. We were all cousins, and we were getting sleepy, so we went to one of the camp houses to settle down and go to sleep. And we were, most of us, almost asleep. And then all of a sudden we hear that front door open. Well, we don't really think much about it. It's probably one of the older women coming in to get some snacks ready or whatever. But it wasn't. There was this light. Somebody mentioned a red light. Well, this wasn't a red light. It was a white light. And it was like a lantern, an old style lantern. And the shuffling of the feet with the lantern going past the room that we were in, no word was spoken to us. And the oldest of the cousins said, I know what that is. Y'all get under the covers and don't say a word. So we all covered our heads, and the thing just went through one end of the camp house and out the back. And that was it. But you know, we were told it was a ghost. But whose ghost it was, we don't know. But that's really about it, Chris. I know some other stories about this area, but
Whoa. Let's give her a round of applause.